So welcome back everyone, Mike here. It is early Saturday morning and I just made a stop at Rural King. Got some food for the deer, food for the dogs, a couple felling wedges, a few towing straps. I think that's about it. But anyway, I'm gonna head home. Got a busy day planned. We're gonna go over to a friend's house and help them cut up some trees that flew down in last week's windstorm. And we'll see. We got to see what we get into today. Well, I'm back here at the house now after my trip to Rural King, but before I go fill that deer feeder up, I'm going to do a little bit of frost seeding in this section of lawn here behind me. Now, if you're not familiar with what frost seeding is, I'll explain what I know about it and the idea behind it and how it all works. And then it may be something that you want to consider doing on your lawn and your pastures, your food plots, things like that. So right now it is March 2nd and we live in the Northeast here in Pennsylvania. Nobody expects to plant anything right now and have it start growing in the next couple weeks. It's just too cold. But the idea with frost seeding is this: you get your soil, you don't have to do a lot of prep on your soil. All I'm going to do back here is get all the debris and the leaves off of it, and I will overseed it. I'll put a lot of seed down. And the idea is, the way this works is this: this time of year in March, you get temperatures, they rise above freezing during the day, you get some sunlight, at night they get cold, you get a lot of freeze-thaw cycles, and you also get snow. But if you get that seed down right now, it's not going to germinate, it's not going to start growing, but with all those freeze-thaw cycles and the snow on top of it, it's going to set that seed down into the soil, and you're going to get really good seed-to-soil contact. And that seed will just lay there dormant, but when temperatures start to rise, that stuff will start growing. At least that's the idea behind it. We won't know how well it works on this section of lawn for a few months, but it can't hurt. I'll show you what I got going on here and why I'm doing this. Every year I struggle to get grass to grow in this section of lawn. It's just too shady of an area. Actually, I don't have trouble getting it to grow. I get trouble getting it to stick around. Usually what I'll do in the springtime, once it dries up a little bit, I'll rake this all out. Sometimes I'll even use a rake on a tractor, seed it, fertilize it, lime it. The grass will come up, and then by like July, August, it all just kind of goes away because there's so much shade. But I like to try to keep it green as best you can. We have dogs, try to stay out of the mud. So this year, instead of waiting until things dry up and warm up, I'm going to frost seed this section today. First thing I'll do, I'll get the Steel BR 700 backpack blower, blow all these debris off it, pick up all the sticks, and then we'll seed the heck out of it with some good shade mix. And I'll show you how I do all this. Alright, I got all the leaves and the debris out of the yard with that backpack blower. That thing works really well. I mean, that stuff has been sitting there since last fall, very wet, packed down, kind of a mess. But we're going to get sidetracked here a little bit. Before I continue with the little frost seeding project, I have to go over to friends of ours' house. We're going to help them cut up some trees that blew down in a windstorm. So I'm going to load up some gear right now. We'll head over there, see if we can knock that out. I'm not even sure what all I'm taking or what to expect. I didn't see them, so I'll kind of load up with a bunch of stuff and saws, and we'll see what we get into. $661. You haven't seen that yet. And in case they're real big, $880. Well, change of plans. I went over to our friend's house there. I took all my gear with me thinking we might start cutting up some trees that blew down. But when I got to looking at it, they have a couple big pine trees that are down, some that are leaning into other ones. Plus they have a whole bunch of dead ones that could be taken down as well. So I suggested maybe we just wait till it freezes up or dries up and get an excavator in there, you know, with a thumb, a mini hoe, and we can knock it all out in a weekend. So that's what we're going to do. So you'll see a video upcoming on that sometime in the next month or so probably. But a lot of times, you know, things like that, yeah, you could get in there. One big pine tree, you might spend all day cutting that thing up and, you know, starting a little burn pile and burning up the branches and things like that, and spend all day on one tree. But when you have a bunch of them like that, you might as well just rent a machine, do it all on a weekend, and be done with it. At least that's the way I see things. So anyway, with that being said, we're gonna get back to the little frost seeding project here in the lawn. All right, I got the rest of the leaves out of the yard, most of the debris. All I need is my seeder and some seed. Something else you want to do is make sure you have the right bag of seed. I grabbed the wrong one out of the garage. This is a mix of Timothy, Kentucky bluegrass, and clover. I do not want that in my lawn. I have a bag of shade mix I'll go grab. Here's what I was looking for. That is a shade mix. Bunch of different types of fescues. This is the same mix that I used last year when I tried seeding the trails out in the woods. I actually got it to come up pretty nice, but between the deer eating it all, which I didn't think the deer would eat fescue, but they did, and the summer heat, it just didn't last. But it should work pretty good in the yard here. So over there, that's where I'm going to frost seed. I got all that stuff out of there. The chickens, tell them about every time I plant grass what the chickens do and how mad I get.
He keeps them locked up in their yard and tapes us off. It's just a whole thing. I hate it.
It's a whole thing. But I'm not going to worry about them this time. All I'm going to do is put a ton of seed down on that, and then between the freeze thaw, all that kind of stuff, it'll work its way down into the ground, and in the spring it should come up, and we'll have grass till July or August again, and then it'll probably all go away. Maybe getting an early jump on it this year will make a difference. I don't know.
What do you think, Piper?
Yeah, you guys met Stanley in the last video.
Piper was jealous.
Piper is pretty jealous.
Stanley's been at the computer reading comments and...
Yeah.
Nothing for Piper.
No. Piper sticks pretty close to Melissa.
And Rue's a big support. He's like, they're right, Stanley, you're so great.
Well, you want to help me pour this bag in the cedar? Because every time I do it, I spill it. I should get like a cup, but if you hold that open, it should work out all right. What do you think, Pipe? That's pretty good, huh?
Yeah.
I'll probably put 2 bags on it. Chickens think you're feeding them.
Come on, girls.
Piper has no idea what you're doing. That's pretty good. So if you've been following our channel for a while, you know I always have trouble getting grass to grow in this area here. Last year, you know, I raked it all up, but that was probably early April, something like that. And so this year I'm going to try it this way. Frost seeding should work. I've done it before on food plots and things like that. But if you have a need for that, you want to freshen things up a little bit, you want to get things growing a little bit better, you may want to try frost seeding, whether it's your pasture, your food plots, or your lawn. This week, I think tomorrow it's supposed to snow. I don't know how much, a couple inches, maybe 6 inches, who knows. And then this week it's going to be cold. But as the temperature changes, rises, falls, the ground freezes, thaws, snow, all that seed that we just put on will get down in the ground. And come spring, it should come up pretty nice. It'll stay dormant until the ground temperature gets warm enough for it to germinate. But it should work out. And the way I see it, it's one less thing I got to do in the spring. You have anything you'd like to add?
Piper's just a little jealous of Stanley's attention from the last video.
Yeah. Yeah, if you didn't see the last video, we'll put it up above. Stanley was in it. Stanley does whatever he wants. Now, Piper does not leave Melissa's side. Follows her.
She could be my shadow. But
Yeah.
I do want to say on Stanley's behalf, he does know when anyone in the family is anxious, upset, sad, and he's right there beside them. He knows our schedules, he knows how to follow Hunter. Like, he has a lot of good qualities. It's just that one dominating independence. I will leave when I want to leave, and that doesn't work. He has a problem with serving. Like, dogs are service, you know, that's their character. Yeah. And he has a problem with that and obeying the rules.
Yeah, he's not a rule follower at all. But anyway, I think that's it for today's video. If you enjoy these videos, please hit the like button, click subscribe, and share them with your friends. Thanks.
Thanks.